that time of the morning where we all learn a little bit about how to manage our money, our personal finance segment.
Yeah, now many people think starting an investment plan requires a large lump sum, but that is not necessarily the case.
Well, Money Matters host Maya Fisher-French explains now for us how a debit order can get you started on your investment journey. Morning, Maya. And this doesn't actually need to be a huge amount. It can be just as little as 100 Rand maybe.
Absolutely, and I think this is often the mistake that people make. They think, oh, I need a lot of money to start investing. And in fact, all the research shows that the best way to save is a regular amount every single month. So you could start with 100, 200, 300 Rand. It's the fact that you're putting the money in on a regular basis each month that actually helps you mitigate the risks of the market. So if you think about it, if you had 100,000 Rand right now, you'd be sitting here thinking, do I put it in the stock market now? You know, what's happening? What's going on? What is happening to the Rand? Looking at the economy, and you'd be nervous to go and put such a large amount of money straight into the market. But if you said, well, I've got a couple of 100 Rand, I'm going to start putting that in each month, then you don't really mind what the stock market's doing, because if the market goes up, your money's making, the money you've invested makes money. But if it goes down, the money that you're investing that month actually buys more shares or more units than it did the month before. So you kind of get what they call the Rand cost averaging. And it's really been proven that over time, that regular payment, buying a little bit higher, lower, when the markets are up and down, actually gives you a better long-term return than just dumping a lump sum in, unless you happen to put that lump sum in at the bottom of the market. And of course, trying to time the market is always a challenge.
Yeah, the trick though will be that if you got those couple of 100 Rands, you must make sure that it actually leaves your regular account and goes somewhere else, because if it remains in your regular account that you are using for your normal expenses, you'll end up spending it.
They always say, you know, the worst savings plan is the one that you say, I will save what is left at the end of the month. Because I don't know about you, but there's never any money left at the month, because if I've got money in my account, I'm going to spend it. So the rule number one for investing or saving is pay yourself first. So take that money out, make that the first debit order off your bank account before you even paying your bills. Get that savings right out of there, because then you can't spend it. It's gone. It's out your account.
Yeah, and sometimes we spend, sometimes we spend more on eating out, for example. I mean, you go out nowadays, even eat, you know, not a fancy restaurant or anything, you end up spending more than a couple of 100 Rands, which you could have put away. And we don't think about it like that. We spend more eating regularly out or getting takeaways.
You know, I must tell you, just like a little example. So if you think about if you have a coffee or cappuccino every day, you know, you buy a takeaway or whatever. And so take that 25 Rand and assume that you do that every single day. That will cost you 750 Rand a month, 9,000 Rand a year. And if you invested that, so say, for example, you put that 750 Rand a month into a savings account or invested it in, say, just something that gave you 10% return a year, you would have about 58,000 Rand invested after 5 years. So that is actually what that cappuccino is costing you. It's not the 25 Rand you're spending, it's actually the opportunity cost of that 58,000 Rand. And I always say that to people when they say, I don't have money to save. And I'm thinking, I say, just what about cutting back on just one thing, just one item, or even if it's, I'm only going to have a coffee 3 times a week, and the other times I will actually save that money. You'll be amazed at how much you can accumulate over a long period of time.
Just make your own coffee at home. I think that's the lesson there. Maya, I also want to find out, a lot of people feel that if they have any extra money, instead of investing it in things that, you know, the uncertainty that we face right now with the economy and those who don't know about investments, that the best place to do this might be to just put it into your bond, and that's the best place to save it. What's your advice for those people?
So I think one has to look at this quite carefully, because people often think, well, if I just put it into my bond, I'm saving, I'm saving the interest that I would be paying on my bond, 10% or whatever, and that's guaranteed. But I think we discussed this in a couple of shows ago, where what you forget about is the long-term compounding effect of investing. So, your money starts to double sort of every 7 years or so, and it's that compounding that you're going to miss out on when you're paying just putting all your money into your bond. I always personally think a great strategy is to put some money into your bond, maybe increase your bond payments by about 10% per month, but then also at the same time make sure that you're investing for the future, because I always say you can't eat your house, and I think that's a problem a lot of people come to. They put all their money into their house, they've paid it off, but now now what? You know, where's that money that you're going to be able to retire on, or that lump sum that you're going to need for something else in your future?
Oh, thank you very much, Maya. As usual, some useful advice there and sharing of personal finance stories.